News 9 Live, I'm Krishna Kumar. Amid a surge in terror attacks in Jammu and Kashmir, Ajit Doval has got an extension as National Security Advisor or NSA for a third term. His term will be co-terminus with the term of the Prime Minister himself. According to a government order, Doval will be assigned the rank of a cabinet minister in the table of precedence. Back in 2019, Doval was reappointed as the National Security Advisor or NSA for 5 years and granted the personal rank of a cabinet minister, making him the first NSA to hold such a rank. Apart from Doval, top bureaucrats PK Mishra, Amit Khare and Tarun Kapoor are all going to continue in their respective posts. PK Mishra has been reappointed as the Principal Secretary to the Prime Minister, while former IAS officers Khare and Kapoor will also continue in their posts as advisors to the Prime Minister. We have Aditya Rajkol now joining us for more on that story. Aditya, clearly it is the work done by Ajit Doval that is carrying him through to the third term.
Well, yes, the big mantra from the Modi government is continuity and stability. They have certainly chosen loyalty and experience. Ajit Doval has been a very close aide and confidant of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Mr. Modi really trusts Mr. Doval with his experience and the way that he has handled national security through complicated times often. Remember the 2019 Article 370 nullification in Jammu and Kashmir. We also remember how, criminals and people who had cases against them were brought in back to India, including, Chota Rajan, the gangster underworld don from Indonesia, and of course, Christian Michel from UAE. Apart from that, of course, a tough stance towards Pakistan when the Uri terror attack happened. There was a surgical strike that happened in 2016. In 2017, the Doklam standoff was resolved with China. And finally, of course, the Balakot strike against Pakistan, inside Pakistan, immediately after the dastardly and cowardly Pulwama terror attack. So everything, every single national security step was under the guidance of National Security Advisor Ajit Doval. So these are both two retired bureaucrats, in fact, Ajit Doval and PK Mishra, who have closely worked with Prime Minister Modi. Both have retained their positions in Modi 3.0 NDA government, and certainly means that there will be continuity in the policy framework and the national security stance of the Government of India. As we know, Mr. Doval is a 1968 batch IPS officer. He is a renowned counter-terrorism and radicalization expert who has also studied nuclear issues. PK Mishra, on the other hand, is a 1972 batch officer who was also the Agriculture Secretary to Government of India and was certainly brought in later as the Principal Secretary. Ajit Doval directly has, of course, worked with the RNAW, the National Security Council Secretariat, the Intelligence Bureau, and other wings of the security and intelligence of the government, and particularly on Pakistan and China, has relentlessly pursued backroom dialogue as well with his counterparts and others to have a peaceful neighborhood in this entire belt.
Aditya Rajkol there getting us the latest on that big story that we're tracking over here. Aditya, stay with us because we are now shifting focus to the other big news coming in from Jammu and Kashmir, where district police of Reasi have detained 50 individuals in connection with a recent terror attack on a pilgrim bus. The incident, which occurred on the 9th of June, killed 10 pilgrims. The detentions were made following an intensive investigation led by the police at the Kanda area police station. Significant leads have been uncovered, aiding in the identification and capture of those who may potentially be involved in orchestrating this terror attack. To ensure a comprehensive probe, search operations have been expanded to encompass the far-flung areas of Arnas and Mahore. The SSP of Reasi, Mohit Sharma, has urged the public to remain vigilant and report any suspicious activity to the authorities immediately. Aditya, talk to us the investigation bearing fruit into this dastardly terror attack on pilgrims.
Well, yes, massive search operations have been, underway in Reasi, in Kathua, in upper reaches of Doda and other places in Jammu and Kashmir as well. The SSP of Reasi in Jammu and Kashmir, Mohita Sharma, confirming that the district police in Reasi have detained 50 individuals in connection with the recent terror attack on the pilgrim bus in which 9 people had lost their lives, including the driver and the conductor of the bus. Due to the presence of mind of the driver and the conductor, many lives were actually saved. There were 33 others who actually got injured, but their life really got saved. In the last 100 hours, we've seen 4 terror attacks in Jammu and Kashmir. Particularly in Riyasi, the terror attack has been of concern due to the level of the casualties, really. And massive search operations are currently underway. Often what happens, Krishna, is that there are OGWs, overground workers, that often help locally Pakistani terrorists in different parts of Jammu and Kashmir. And that's why these people have been detailed to understand who is helping these Pakistani terrorists, where are their hideouts, and how are they, getting information locally, doing their recce, and trying to, escape from the clutches of the security forces.
Right. Aditya, the other question I have is that after this particular attack on a pilgrim bus, there have been more in Jammu. There seems to be a fresh influx of terrorists from across the border into Jammu.
Well, that's right. Jammu has developed into a new, infiltration zone and a new territory. And in fact, might I call it a new hotbed of terrorists, really. In the last 30 to 35 years, we have seen Kashmir snowball into a big conflict area. Kashmir, yes, a few areas were ridden with conflict and terrorism in the early 90s and the early 2000s. But in the last many years, Jammu has been relatively peaceful. We haven't seen much violence in the area. Sporadic events have certainly happened, but not continuously. With the Modi 3.8 government coming in, the NDA government, immediately during the swearing-in ceremony at Rashtrapati Bhavan, the first terror attack happening in Riyasi really, sent in, questions in the national security apparatus as to how this was happening, what kind of message Pakistan was sending across to India. And of course, thereafter, 3 more terror attacks happening in Kathua and in Doda. Although in the next 3 attacks, not many casualties have happened. Only 1 CRPF soldier has died. But in Doda and in Riyasi, the terrorists have still not been apprehended or neutralized. And that's a big concern, really. In the past, also in Poonch and Rajouri, there have been several attacks where terrorists were not able to be apprehended and they escaped unharmed. And that certainly is a big question mark on the intelligence failure and the security apparatus and the grid that we have in that particular area. So as of now, the Indian Army, the NK Police, CRPF and other wings of Government of India, including the Intelligence Bureau and RNW, are working day and night to, accumulate both technical and human intelligence so that the terrorists who are in their hideouts right now, escaping from the forces, are neutralized as soon as possible.
Aditya Raj Kaul there joining us with the latest on the investigation into the Riyasi terror attack. Thank you, Aditya.